What is up, all my chosen ones? Jazz Royce back now, guys. Today is a special day because not only is the overall market pumping, over 900 billion market cap, but Volt is now starting to pump. And on top of that, the sprinkle on the icing is that is because they had their Stage 5 roadmap, officially giving us a glimpse into what they have planned for 2023. Let's get into this. Now, before we begin, guys, please do me a favor and smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, welcome, guys. Do me a favor and hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell for me, please, and thank you. So, guys, let's get straight into this, man. First things first, let's look at the overall markets. $923 billion. We are now up almost $75 billion from the last Volt update. Our top two coins sitting in the 19,000, almost at 20,000, and ETH right below it sitting at 1,400, steadily climbing far up from our 1,200 consolidation we've been sitting at since November. In fact, these are the highest prices that we've seen since the week leading up to the FTX collapse of early November. So this is great to see, guys, and it's only 13 days into January. Meanwhile, Volt is on its way, pushing back into the nines and ready to reclaim the zero. Like I said last video, guys, when the market starts to rally, we are going to see some of that money start to trickle over into DeFi, and prominent DeFi projects like Volt is probably one of the first in line to receive a big wad of that. And now we're starting to see up over 16% just on the day alone. Volt is climbing back up. Now, there are a couple of things that I want to touch base on, my favorite things of Stage 5 that really caught my attention, starting with number one, the 3 top 10 centralized exchange listing. Now, guys, our volume has been around $4.9 million just in the last 24 hours, and 4.7 million that has come predominantly from centralized exchange listings. Poloniex and Gate.io, for example, have been playing a big role in the overall volume that we've been seeing in Volt. So can you imagine when we get 3 of the top 10 centralized exchanges, and now that we're finally starting to see market conditions work in our favor, that may mean that it may not be as long of a wait until we at least see the first announcement of one of the 3 top 10 centralized exchanges. On top of that, guys, VoltiSoft and VoltiEco are now being in talks. If you don't remember, from early on, it was announced that Volt was going to have 3 main utilities within its ecosystem, starting with the first one, VoltiChange. And we've already seen how impactful VoltiChange was, especially with the new addition of their widget, which, by the way, Botoshi also said 100 VoltiChange widget additions are coming. So with what VoltiChange already has now, we already have all these new DeFi projects listing it on their website, bringing their community directly to VoltiChange to not only burn their supply, but to also take care of the Volt army. Imagine what's going to happen with those widget additions. Now, VoltiSoft and VoltiEco, there wasn't much talked about yet of what it's going to consist of. However, we at least know that now that is going to start to become an addition of the focus for the next chapter. Global staking platform up next, followed by VoltiChange gamification and a bridge on VoltiChange. And for my Volted Dragon holders out there, yes, we now have the first round of rewards being announced to us. Now, we don't know exactly what the rewards are as of yet, but he didn't leave us hanging just with that alone, because the rewards is already good enough to me. He also has a battle royale game in the works, followed by an in-game marketplace. So for those that have been holding on to their Volted Dragons, now we are about to see the harvest for our patience, and especially the rewards, guys. I want to point out, he said the first reward, that means it's going to be continuous, is what it's looking like to me. Branded physical cards and VoltiShop, perhaps a one-stop shop where you can use Volt tokens or maybe other tokens that they're partnered with to purchase goods and services. Perhaps that's just me speculating. Honestly, I wouldn't want to spend any of my Volt tokens knowing exactly where this project is heading to. And combined with all of that that's happening, guys, don't forget the $1 million burn at all-time high. And I guarantee that those top 10 centralized exchanges are going to play a significant role in what's going to help us just get back to all-time highs. And once they see that $1 million burn, I think that's when the party is really going to get amplified. Followed by that, we also have a Volt library, and Votoshi has now set new standards for 2023 on what he wants to see within stage 5, consisting of 250,000 holders and 250,000 Twitter followers. Now, for reference, guys, right now we're sitting at roughly 20-ish% of the holders target. So can you imagine what this chart is going to be looking like when we are 5x the amount of holders? The markets are running high and the centralized exchanges start rolling in left and right. Can you just picture what this chart is going to look like? We might be seeing it look like this, but maybe instead of a 6 beside it, we might see that at a 4, a 5 or a 4. I'm thinking probably a 4. Once again, just my opinion, just my own speculation. So with all of that lined up with just the second week of January, guys, I am excited to see what is going to happen with this project. I'm glad to see that the markets are now waking up and Volt is right within that line, climbing back up the ladders with it. Couldn't have been any better timing to drop a stage 5 roadmap. Voltoshi always knows what he's doing, guys, so let's just rest assured, continue playing it patient, and let's enjoy this rally, okay? With that being said, folks, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I'm Jazz Wars, and like always, I'm going to catch each and every one of you guys at the top.